Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to today's edition of Intuitive Angling. And man, I really appreciate you guys coming by the channel and spending some time with me to check it out. I really appreciate that. And guys, today we're going to have an unpopular opinion. I'm probably going to get some feedback on this about people saying I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to make the case why the most popular color of soft plastic, green pumpkin, is losing its effectiveness as catching bass. And not only am I going to make that case, but I'm going to give you guys some alternatives and cue the dang helicopter. Guys, if you guys have seen the videos I've done the last couple of weeks, how many times has this dang helicopter that's flying over right now came over in the middle of a video I get started? I go, what's the deal with that? Okay, anyway, guys, just wanted to give you, before we get started, just a big thank you to everybody that's been helping Intuitive Angling out here with all the links we put in the description and subscribing to the channel. Everybody that's taken the time to, use my Tackle Warehouse link and subscribe and check out the members, the members option we have on the channel. You guys are really doing a big part to support the channel. So I just wanted to give a big thanks to from me and my family to you guys if you're partaking in that. Okay, guys, cue up the comments here. When I say green pumpkin is losing its effectiveness as bass. Oh, Randy, you don't know what you're talking about. You're old, washed up geezer. I still catch a ton of fish on green pumpkin. Well, good for you, because I'm telling you right now, guys, green pumpkin is starting to go downhill as a bass catcher. And let me explain what the deal is with that. Now, when you talk about bass getting conditioned to certain lures and profiles and actions and vibrations like that, from my experience in bass fishing, now I've had people agree with me and I've had people disagree with me, but it's the only logical, rational explanation to that. I think bass evolve extremely quickly to learn to not to do something, because if you figure, like I said, we talk about here a lot on the channel about how bass have been on this planet for millions of years, and in order for a species to survive millions of years, you have to be adaptive and you have to evolve very quickly to changes, or you're not going to survive. And guys, I'm telling you right now, bass are evolving to not bite green pumpkin quite as well, simply because everybody throws it. It's the number one color. Everybody fishes it, not necessarily because it's the best color, but that's what you hear a lot. You hear a lot of people talking about green pumpkin, and it still does catch fish, but it's losing its effectiveness as the number one bass catching color. Now, here's what I found about it, and this is how I've determined how this is actually true. Over the past 10 years, I've taken note of this, because the company that I use is Zoom Soft Plastics, but any soft plastic companies that you guys use is the same way. Initially, they had green pumpkin and watermelon. That was the two primary, natural hues that companies made with soft plastics. But over the past 5 or 10 years, any product line out there, any company, they've started introducing a line of like a green pumpkin color with different flake variations. Like Zoom makes green pumpkin purple, green pumpkin, red, green pumpkin blue. A lot of different companies have different variations of green pumpkins. And what happens is when you put flake, this is a straight green pumpkin here, but when you put flake in a green pumpkin worm or a green pumpkin soft plastic, it changes the hue of it in the water. Sometimes it darkens it up a little bit, sometimes it lightens it up a little bit, sometimes it puts a little bit of flash into it. And in addition with that, when you couple those green pumpkins with the flake variations and then you add some dye, then you create a completely different look around the green pumpkin. So what happened is, this is sort of my own study that I've done with this, is that over the past 10 years, is that I always keep green pumpkin in the box, but I've also got every other color that Zoom makes with the flake. And I've noticed a undeniable trend that every single time if I start out with green pumpkin and then I make a change to like a green pumpkin purple or a green pumpkin with a different type of flake on there, I always catch more bass on the green pumpkin that has the flake in it, always. And on top of that, I always catch more bass on a green pumpkin that has some type of if I dye it, like I put some orange or chartreuse or blue, without a doubt. Just straight green pumpkin, when I try to use straight green pumpkin, I've noticed a precipitous decline in the number of bites that I get. Now, there's a lot of different theories you can think about with that, but in my opinion, I just think they've gotten too conditioned to it. I think that If you think about it, green pumpkin has been around for, man, probably well over 30 years now, 35 years as a color. And if you think how many tens of millions of bass anglers for 30 years, 365 days a year feed bass nothing but a diet of green pumpkin over and over and over and over again. Doesn't matter if it's a football head jig trailer or if it's a worm or if it's a shaky head or whatever. Like I said, the bass are not stupid. They evolve quickly to fail, to learn. They have to fail quick because they learn quick. So I think there's something sort of like something being ingrained in the DNA of a bass to avoid the straight green pumpkin, but they're still getting tricked and they're still getting fooled by the green pumpkin variations with the flake in it and different type of dyes with it. And I've noticed the same thing. Well, we've talked a little bit about this before about like a black jig, because back in the early 80s, guys, all I fished was like a black jig with a black pork chunk on it, and caught tons of bass on it. If you try to do that now, guys, go take a half-ounce black jig with a black pork chunk on it, and you go to your favorite lake right now and see how many bass you catch on it. I bet you don't catch a bass in a week on it. They just will not bite it like they used to. And it's sort of doing the same way with the green pumpkin. So anyway, my recommendation, here's the silver lining in it, is whatever soft plastic manufacturer you use, go to their green pumpkin line and start purchasing the green pumpkin that has different flake variations in it, and start adding a little bit of dye to the tails on it. Now, you don't have to dye much. I prefer taking those paint pens and just putting a little puff on the end, whether it be, my favorite, like I said, are blue, chartreuse, orange, sometimes I'll use red, but just something a little bit different on there. And it's going to make a difference. But the point of the video, guys, is start staying away from just a straight green pumpkin and start experimenting with some other variations. And without a doubt, I guarantee it's going to add up to some more fish for you guys. So anyway, throw me some comments. Let me know what you guys think. I know I'm going to get a ton of comments. People saying, Randy, you're full of it. You don't know what you're talking about. I still catch tons of bass on a green pumpkin. Well, try green pumpkin with some flakes in it, and you're going to catch more than a ton of bass. That's my rebuttal on that. So hope you guys are doing good. We'll see you.